They try to make me go to rehab, and I'm like, no, no, no. Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. So, special guest, Marie. This is the podcast where all three of us went and saw a movie at our local Regal Cinema Theater, and now we're going to talk about it in the parking structure right next to the Regal Theater we see the movies at. Shout out to Regal. If you want to sponsor us, please do. We're going to talk about such things in this podcast as, should you see this movie? Should you not see this movie? Should you wait for streaming? Do you have to see it in theater? Should you bring your family? Should you bring a date? Should you go alone? Do you need tissues because you're going to cry? Should you, I don't know, sit and enjoy and think about life? I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy. Yeah, I think you should sit and enjoy and think about life.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to do when you watch a movie. Maybe. Maybe you want to sit and not think about life too. Either one, fine.
Don't tell
either
people
way,
how to.
Either way.
They can do what they want.
So we saw a movie tonight. It's called Back to Black, right?
Yes.
This movie is about Amy Winehouse and her life and death and her 27 years on Earth. So, yeah, we saw that. Tim's not with us tonight, so I'll tell you who's in it. Nobody's in it.
Yeah. The dad is, I don't remember the actor's name, but he's been in a lot. But
Famous character actor.
Yes.
Infamous character actor. Non-famous character actor. Some character actor.
Some character. You're right.
Yeah.
You see him a lot in, like the Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, those movies and stuff like that.
Got it. Movies that I really have not seen, those movies. So
You're missing out.
I've heard that. But anyway, so what's this movie about? Well, it's about Amy Winehouse, specifically her getting famous years and then spiraling to her death. That's what it's about. I mean, that's you know, we get her rise to fame, we get her tumultuous love affair, and we get her addiction to primarily alcohol, and we get her singing. So,
yep.
What more can you really say about it? One of these,
you nailed it.
These biopics,
yes,
is always gonna.
Yeah, it seems like if you've seen one, you've seen pretty much them all.
Yeah. So, I think that segues right into Todd. How did you feel about Back to Black?
As I shared this opinion in the men's room with you, Matt.
Yes.
I just don't think these movies will ever land with me because we've seen them all, and it seems like this one was particularly hard for me because, to me, the way Amy was portrayed in the movie was, at all times, she kind of commands respect from people, but doesn't want to give respect to people, except for her nan. And I kind of knew that I didn't really care about Amy Winehouse when she was out. I'm not the biggest jazz fan. Good for her success, but I already knew going into this movie that I was already like, I don't really care. But this movie didn't do anything to personally grab me. And I don't know if it could have done anything. Like, I don't think, to me, what they did was like incredibly straightforward and didn't. And I mean, like, I think part of the movie is like, she's Amy, who cares? That's who she was or whatever. But I don't know. I really this is gonna sound bad. I wasn't rooting for her. Like, and if I can't root for someone in the movie, it doesn't keep me. So I don't know. I'm trying to remove my frustration with musician biography movies and try to analyze this just as a movie. I thought the acting was pretty good. I thought the woman who played Amy seemed like that was her. I mean, like, I thought she did a pretty good job of imitating her, and I don't know. I guess she was lip syncing. I don't know. I don't know if that's really her. I don't think so, but kudos to her if it is.
We don't have that detail at this time.
So, I don't know. These are never going to land with me unless it's something like what they did with the Elton John for Rocket Man. Like, if it's something different than turns the genre kind of on its head a little bit. But certainly not being an Amy Winehouse fan, already kind of started this whole thing off on the wrong foot. I was really hoping this movie would like shed some light on her. I was like, well, this is who I think this person is, and then like I just was proven right about how I thought about her over the years. So she was just Amy, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I guess if you were like a huge Amy Winehouse fan, you would see this movie. Like I think they did her songs justice, and I think in the message of like, I'm Amy, I'm gonna be who I be, or whatever, they did her justice with that. But her life story is like super tragic, filled with incredibly wrong decisions that she made herself. Like, and I get that, and I'm sad for that kind of person, but it just was really hard for me to like truly care. That probably sounds horrible, but that's what I'm feeling right now. So I'm going to say the only caveat to see this movie is that if you're a huge Amy Winehouse fan and you want to relive some of her music in the theater in booming sound and stuff like that, then absolutely this is all yours. Average moviegoer, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't really feel like there was a hook to this thing. It was what we all thought. We all knew kind of, but we didn't know behind the scenes. But then they showed behind the scenes, and it's like, oh, well, that's what I thought at least. So, yeah, that's gonna be me. Marie?
Well, I don't disagree with you about kind of the formulaic part of this movie, like other movies like it. It was the formula that we see with these type of movies. Some family, their early years, the rise to fame, and the things that bring them down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, we've seen that all before. But as a movie, I enjoyed the soundtrack a lot. I'm not a huge Amy Winehouse fan. In fact, I know more about her now after she died than any time while she was alive. When I would hear her music, I thought she was from the 50s and 60s, like, because her music was so influenced from that. I had no idea she was contemporary at the time. And I didn't even know how many Grammys she won, and then that she won one after she had died. So I was interested because I didn't know that much about her, and I do enjoy her music, so it was nice to listen to it. And I thought the acting was good, but it's not an original thought.
Fair.
Is that...
No.
But we knew that going in. We knew how this ended. We knew she got famous, and then she died from a substance, like the other people they made those kinds of movies about. So there was no surprise there. We knew where it was going. But I was interested in how they were going to tell that story.
Yeah. And
so there were some interesting things to me, and I do agree. She made lots of terrible choices. And even though she made lots of terrible choices in the end, and this sounds super corny, but I just had this thought of, well, she ended up dying of a broken heart because she just never got over that guy. And then, the alcohol or the drugs or whatever. Right. Helped. And that's super sad to me that she was never able to move past that relationship that was so clearly unhealthy for her. And him. Right. Yeah. Yeah, for both of them. And that was sad. Yeah. And interesting to me. Do I think you need to go to theater to watch it? No. If you have good sound at home, with your TVs, you can wait and stream it. It's not really a theater necessary type of movie.
Right on. Matt?
Well, I probably knew the least about Amy Winehouse going into this, I think. I really could not have pulled a song out of out of my hat to say that's an Amy Winehouse song. Some of the songs sounded familiar to me during the movie, but none of them was I like, oh yeah, that song. I was not. I'm like an Amy Winehouse neophyte here. So I didn't. I mean, I knew she died, and I knew she was a troubled person. That was about it that I knew, and that she was a singer. So yeah, I actually thought the story was kind of interesting. Yes, it's like other stories. Yes, we've seen this before. But I thought that the actress who portrayed Amy Winehouse, whose name I think is Marisa Abela, not a famous person that I knew, but I thought that she did a really good job of capturing kind of the rise to stardom, the confidence, and the descent to trouble very well. So yeah, kudos to her for that performance. And I thought the music in it was great, very enjoyable. And if she was singing, she's got a great voice. If it was all lip syncing, she did a good job because I couldn't detect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I enjoyed the ride we went on. I felt sad at the end, and I think that's what they were going for. And yeah, so not a whole lot to say other than to say that yes, I agree. You should see this if you're an Amy Winehouse fan, and if you're looking for a good story that's like other stories, I think this falls into that category. I enjoyed myself and felt feelings, which is a sign of a decent movie for me. So that's where I will leave it.
And proof you're not a robot.
Proof.
Which is always good.
I'm not a robot. We have to have these confirmations from time to time.
Yeah. No. Well, getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Mm-hmm.
How many cocktails would you give this movie? 0 being the worst, because then you got none, and then 5 being the best, because you can share. Yeah, let's go with that. You can share.
Yes.
Matt?
Yeah. So, like I said, I did enjoy this movie, and I thought it was decently well constructed, though constrained by, the sort of similarity to other artists who have gone through the same thing when you're telling the story. But so I'm going to give it 3 cocktails out of 5.
Marie?
I'm gonna give it 3.25 because I really did enjoy it, and who knows how much of it is completely the truth, but I know more than I did about her, and I got to listen to some good music because it wasn't all just Amy Winehouse.
Sure. I was really hoping when I saw this movie to learn something good and interesting about her, and I am coming away with going, well, now I know she used to beat her husband, and that's made this whole experience weird to me. But I'm going to land on a 2. I'm a little bit farther away than you guys. Like, I kind of was bored at times during this because it just felt like the middle of this movie dragged forever, of just continuously seeing her drink and stumble through performances and stuff like that. At times I was like, I feel like I'm in a loop here of just seeing the same things.
It was a little painful.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
It was a little bit long.
Yeah. I mean, I
agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
So, but I would say this movie is for people who really either didn't know anything about Amy Winehouse or really, really loved her. I fall in the middle of that, I guess, so it really wasn't for me. But yeah, I'm at a 2.
Okay, well, I think this movie is also for people who really love their grandmas, because that's something that's something good, Todd, that we did find out about Amy Winehouse.
Is a Nana grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
really?
was her grandmother.
Yeah, Nana.
Yeah, but was it her dad's mom?
I think so.
Man, he
Yeah.
looked so much older than she did.
Well, maybe that's a casting problem.
She had some strong family ties there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, where we review the movie Back to Black about Amy Winehouse. And we gave it an average rating of 2.75 cocktails out of 5. Seems wildly inappropriate, but hey, we'll go with it. And yeah, so that's above average. And I think 2 out of 3 of us say, you can watch this movie and probably enjoy it, whether you have knowledge of Amy Winehouse or not. Maybe better if you don't have a lot. I don't know.
Ever since the penis's rating system,
Yeah.
Oh god.
I've been like, how awkward can we make it?
Yeah, we can make it awkward. Well, thank you all listeners and subscribers and downloaders. Please keep doing those things. And we will see you next time.
Da 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 da
Da-da.
da da da.
Da-da-da.